From the national newsroom of the Canadian Press, I'm John Kennedy. India has accused Pakistan of violating a ceasefire deal that was struck earlier today, following international talks led by the U.S. Indian Foreign Secretary Vikram Misri says there have been repeated violations of the understanding between the two countries, accusing Pakistan of breaching the agreement. Misri says the India is now calling on Pakistan to take the appropriate steps and address the violations to deal with the situation seriously and responsibly. The new pope is already working in the Vatican. His elevation to papacy as Leo XIV is being celebrated across the United States. Reporter Maggie Rulli is in Rome with reaction from Americans.
In America, celebrations for the new hometown pope at his alma mater, Villanova University. Students full of joy.
I thought it was really exciting. It's definitely a very unique experience.
And a massive Thanksgiving in Pope Leo's hometown of Chicago.
Leo has identified AI as one of the main issues facing humanity, saying it poses challenges to defending human dignity, justice, and labor. An advocate for victims of clergy abuse says survivors hold cautious optimism about Pope Leo XIV. A Chicago-based group called Survivors Network of Those Abused by Priests filed complaints about Robert Prevost, who is now Leo XIV, with Vatican officials in March, alleging he failed to investigate claims of abuse by a priest in Peru. The group also claims Prevost didn't alert authorities at a Chicago elementary school when a priest who was forbidden to be alone with minors was residing in a nearby friary in the early 2000s. The bar is set quite high for the new pope. Indigenous groups in Canada say they want to see Pope Leo XIV continue the reconciliation work started by his predecessor, the late Pope Francis. Pope Francis expressed a willingness to return colonial-era artifacts from the Vatican Museum. He apologized in the Vatican and in Canada for the church's role in residential school systems, and he's worked towards reconciliation with Indigenous peoples around the world up until his death. National Chief Cindy Woodhouse-Nepanak says she welcomes Leo and hopes he'll be open and receptive to working together. Leaders from 4 major European countries are threatening to ratchet up pressure on the Russian President Vladimir Putin if he does not accept an unconditional 30-day ceasefire in Ukraine. Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov says Russia is ready for peace talks with Ukraine without preconditions.
President Putin is doing whatever is possible to solve the problem, to achieve a settlement through peaceful and diplomatic means. But having no peaceful and diplomatic means at hand, we have to continue military operation.
Russia's own unilateral 3-day ceasefire declared for the 80th anniversary of the victory over Nazi Germany expires today, and Ukraine says Russian forces repeatedly violated the ceasefire anyway. This is the Canadian Press. In sports, Bowden Francis gets the ball when the Toronto Blue Jays continued their road series in Seattle versus the Mariners. The Jays opened the series with a 6-3 win last night. Seattle sends Logan Evans to the mound in return. The Toronto Maple Leafs spent the day off the ice as they prepare for Game 4 of the second-round playoff series with the Florida Panthers tomorrow night. Toronto fell 5-4 in overtime in Game 4 as Florida cut its deficit to 2-1. Leafs winger Max Pacioretty says the head coach has a measured approach to the team, and it benefits them in tense moments.
They're making a push. We got to stay calm, but also we got to get our foot on the gas. And it sounds like an oxymoron, but he does a really good job of that.
Toronto led Game 3 by 2-0 and 3-1 scores before the defending Stanley Cup champions got off the mat. Derek Carr has called it a career after 11 NFL seasons. The veteran quarterback made the announcement through a statement from the New Orleans Saints. The decision comes as Carr continues to deal with a lingering shoulder issue. From the Canadian Press, I'm John Kennedy.
Thanks for listening. Don't forget to follow and subscribe. For more of today's top stories, visit thecanadianpressnews.ca.